Hey guys, welcome back. YouTube monetization is kind of like dating. When you're trying too hard, it seems to never work out in your favor. So let's get into it. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a little story back in the day when I was 20 years old when I met my wife of today. We've been together for going on 25 years. It's kind of crazy. I met her back in 2000. Okay, I was a sophomore in college. She was a freshman in college. And I had briefly dated someone before I met her, and so did she. We had briefly both had been in relationships before we had met. And we met at a party at my fraternity, and we weren't even really trying, to be honest. We weren't really in the dating market. We weren't trying. We had just happened to meet each other. I had seen her before, I think even when I was in a relationship, but you know, after that I had seen her and I was interested, but I wasn't really trying. And I'm telling you what, when it comes to YouTube monetization, you don't really want to try too hard, okay? Because if you try too hard, people are going to notice when they watch you. They can tell if you're being fake or if you're just, you know, trying too hard, too scripted, whatever it is. And it's just not going to work, guys. The algorithm knows too. It knows how to like somehow sense the tone in your voice and how you're vibing with your audience. It really does. I mean, they've been doing this for years. They can tell who's actually trying and who isn't. And so when it comes to YouTube monetization, you got to think of it like the dating market, okay? You do not want to try, okay? Because if you try too hard, you will fail flat on your face, okay? I mean, I've been pushing hard. I do videos every single day in 2025. That's how I got monetized, because I gave myself more chances. But I haven't been thinking about monetization the whole time. Every now and then, you know, as I was going through the journey, I'd look at my hours here and there. But I just really took it as a, hey, the more times you try, the better off you're gonna get a viral video, okay? And I've got two of them so far. And in both of those times, I never once thought about monetization. I was just out there recording, riffing, walking down the street and talking. And that's how I got viral on 2 videos now. And I'll tell you what, for the most part, it does have a lot to do with your title, if you don't know that yet. Titles are extremely important when it comes to getting views, getting the algorithm to push your content out. And again, you can't try too hard. You have to be natural. You have to be authentic. You know, authenticity is the gold standard of the attention economy, okay? Remember that. Authenticity is the key. And so if you're trying too hard, you're not going to be authentic, okay? Even in the dating market, guys and gals, you know, most of the time it's guys that are trying too hard to find a lady, and they try too hard and the girls can sniff it out in 2 seconds, okay? So remember that. If you're trying to find someone out there, and if you're trying to get monetized as a content creator, don't try too hard, okay? Just be chill, you know, have fun. The other night on a live stream, I did some crazy stuff. I took a Sega Dreamcast, the system from 1998, and I plugged it into a capture card, plugged that into OBS Studio, got everything set up, and I started a live stream at like 10:15. Now granted, I'm monetized, but even then, I just don't even care. I want to do fun things. That's what you want to do with YouTube. You want to just have fun and not care. And I'm telling you, when you do that, everything's going to fall into place, because you're going to be natural, authentic, vibing with your audience, having fun, having a nice smile in your videos. That goes a long way, you know. Now, granted, you can go the other way if you're a serious kind of YouTuber where, you know, you're kind of a doom and gloomer, what is it called? Resentful content, all that stuff. And you're going to be angry and you're going to, you know, be vibing in that sense, but you're going to be authentic. You're not going to be trying about or you're not going to be caring about monetization. You care about the subject you're talking about. You care about the end of the world because you're a doomer, right? Doom rants. Those are my favorite things to watch sometimes, you know. I do get some ideas from the doom rants, you know. They're kind of just going on and on about how society's going this way and that way. You know, they're kind of interesting and fun, but I wouldn't put too much stock into those. You know, we need more positive content on YouTube. And I think you can be authentic in that manner, you know, and not try too hard. I tell you what, you know, my advice for any new YouTuber starting out is just walk and talk, man. You get that blood flowing like I've got going on now. I'm kind of just riffing. There's nothing scripted, guys. That's what is selling on YouTube, is the non-scripted stuff. I mean, especially the ranters, you know, the doom and gloomers, they don't script much of anything. They just go on a tangent after tangent and just record and riff. And I tell you what, it can help you get to that point of monetization. Again, don't be trying too hard. But I will say this about monetization: when you get there, it's kind of like getting married, okay? The excitement, the honeymoon period, the hard, you know, work you put in that relationship, it kind of settles down, okay? You're not going to be making a ton of money when it comes to monetization. I have 2 viral videos going on, you know, getting like, I don't know, probably 200 views every 48 hours, which is pretty decent for my channel of only 1,000 subscribers, 1,100 subscribers. You know, those are only bringing in maybe $2 a day, if that, you know. I haven't even gotten a paycheck yet, and it's been 2 or 3 months, okay? Maybe it's like 2 months, 2.5 months, something like that. I have crossed over the $100 threshold, but, you know, don't think of monetization for the money at all, especially as a small YouTuber. Now, granted, if you don't try too hard, you do what I say, and you don't think about things and you're authentic, you might go viral like crazy, and of course, get that big subscriber count and you start to get, you know, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 views per video. Now you're talking about some real money. You know, you're probably looking at, you know, maybe $100 a video, something like that. I think on average, it's like 10,000 views is $100, I think. So you're gonna need to be hot, you know, to make some real money. A 30,000 view video is not easy to come by. You gotta have a lot of subscribers. And I've seen people who have 30,000 subscribers who just hang up their hat and say, no, I'm done, because it's a lot of work. It's not very good money. Even with 30,000 subscribers, this one YouTuber I was watching, I mean, his videos were getting like 2,000 views a day. So, you know, he was making some money here and there, but not enough to make a living. So I think he had to go back to his day job. But my point about that is that when you get to monetization, it's not that exciting, and you just got to have the passion for this YouTube thing. You got to want to do it for fun and to build your community. I've got my really small community that just vibes with me, comments with me. It's the same people over and over and over. Now, I know there's a lot of lurkers and people who are watching here and there who like my content, you know. I don't know what their opinions are of me. It's hard to say, and you'll never know. You know, you just got to enjoy doing it, enjoy sharing your life, enjoy recording and riffing, maybe even doing the creative side. I've started to kind of get into the creative side a little bit more, little by little. I'm starting to build out these shows because I want to have fun. I want to do shows where, you know, people are learning stuff. That's really what I'm all about, is helping people build wealth in this world. YouTube's another way to do it. You know, you can blow up on YouTube. I've seen people do it left and right, and I can always tell when they're gonna blow up. And I tell them in the comments, I'm like, dude, you're gonna blow up, whether it's male or female. I can kind of tell you've got a vibe that is going on with your recording. You know, you can just tell they're not trying too hard, and so can everyone else. And then they start going in the comments, and then the algorithm just takes over from there, and you blow up, you get monetized, and you start making some money. You know, it can happen to anyone out there. I think I've done pretty well. I haven't blown up, I would say. I've just had some good, healthy, viral videos. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad I didn't blow up. I think it would have went to my head. I think that you know, I wouldn't have had a good community building experience. And I don't even think I would have done these shows that I'm doing, the Friday Ticker, and I've got the AI Drop. That's my new show on Wednesdays. I was going to call it AI Wednesdays, but now I'm going to call it the AI Drop, dropping the bombs about AI. And then I'm doing Throwback Thursdays, which I'm just going to be showing classic 8mm home videos of when I grew up. That's more for my community, my small community, and my viewers. You know, I have to say thank you to all you guys. You know, you guys are the ones who got me here monetized. I still like to talk about the financial markets and the stock market, but there's a lot more to building wealth. You know, the AI stuff is huge these days. You know, and I always come back to the stock market. It's a great place to build wealth. I kind of wish that I was good at the real estate market. Even in Kalamazoo, there's some opportunities I see left and right. But, you know, I just have not wanted to take the risk of real estate, just something about it. I think it's the liquidity. That's what always scares me with real estate, is the liquidity. I can always get out of the stock market when I want, get my cash. But with real estate, I get scared of holding the bag and having to deal with a market that slows down. So sorry for the tangent there, but anyways, see, I'm recording and riffing and just going, you know, being myself. So anyways, hopefully these tips help you guys. And yeah, if you have any questions about monetization, let me know in the comments below, and let me know what your experience is. Are you monetized? Are you not? Has this kind of been your experience when it comes to just naturally recording and not worrying about monetization, or do you worry about it too much? So let me know in the comments below, and if you guys could like and subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it if you haven't done so already, and take a look at my previous video. And everyone have a beautiful evening. Later.